everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful month. We are already in September and I'm very glad because when I think of September in India, here we are going to have so many festivals like from the Hindu culture. The Hindu people that live here, they have several gorgeous, such fun festivals they celebrate here. And being a Christian, I don't participate in that festival, but it's beautiful because everywhere there are lights and there are colors and there are just so many fun things that they do, and you're just enjoying seeing them even though you're not participating in the festival. But anyway, Christmas is on its way, and in no time it will be December, and the holiday season will be here, and we're going to enjoy so much. So just thinking about it is giving me such a happy time. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how we can make these fun earrings. I'm going to call them actually, I haven't yet figured out a good name for these, but maybe at the very end, as usually I do. At the end of this video, I will come up with a name for this earrings. So before I start this video, before I show you these pretty earrings, I would like to thank each and every one of you who supported me by buying the kits for the SSB bracelet. Now I sold all of the kits and I will be having more. If you want more, you can just always ask me. Thank you for buying the kits and thank you for supporting me on YouTube. I am over 500 subscribers. It's been 2 years that I am on YouTube, but I don't know why, but I don't have much access to subscribers, but every single day you are subscribing to my channel. I appreciate that, and thank you for watching my videos, and thank you so much for making me total 500 above subs. So in this video, I want to talk about these pretty earrings that I made. The technique that I used on these earrings were actually from this is actually craw. It's not craw, you can call it right angle weave. I use the technique right angle weave, but instead of, actually I did it into a cross shape, but instead of doing it four-sided, I made it three-sided. There are just three sides to it. It's like a triangle. So I'll show that how you can do it. It's pretty simple. Basically we're doing a beaded bead here, and then on the top and on the bottom we are doing some embellishment and just making it pretty for a earring. This one I made in Christmas colors, green, gold and maroon, and it's really fun. This is something a little different to this one and this one, but I'll talk about it later on in the video. And this one I made in blue, remembering the icy cold winter, and this is a beautiful blue, and I'm going to be demonstrating this color with you. So for the earrings you will need just less than 2 grams of seed beads. It's like 1 gram or less than that. I don't know how much you need. I haven't yet weighed it. So you're going to need some seed beads size 11, and you're going to need 24mm bicones. This time I'm using a Swarovski, and this color, I always forget the name of the color, and forgive me for that. This is like a copper sulfate blue, a beautiful light blue. And then what I did was I took a head pin, I added in an 8mm rondelle, 2 daisy spacers, and then a 4mm, and then I just looped it up. So if you don't know this, you want to watch some other videos where you learn how to do this. This is just the dangle that you want to add here. This is completely optional. If you want to add something else, then it's totally up to you. And then you're going to need a pair of your wires, and then needle, thread, of course, and you're going to need pliers and scissors. So to get started on, before I start off with the design, I want to talk about it a little bit. On this one here, you need, I mean, the total number of crystals that you want is 40. It's one side is 20 beads, okay? So supposedly you're doing this earring, I mean the blue one is exactly the same, just we changed the dangle a little bit. Exactly the same piece, or the above piece is exactly the same. So if you want to do that, you will need 20, 20, 40 beads. But if you want to do this one here, you're going to require 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You will only require 30 beads per earring set, okay? So one side will require 15 beads. So the design actually is really customized. You can just make it into various forms and sizes. If you want the upper part to be a little smaller, you can do that always. I mean, it's totally up to you as to how you want to change the earring. So I'm going to be showing that when I start off with the design actually. So let me just put all these aside. I don't want this here. At the very first step, you're only going to require the bicones, the seed beads, your needle, and your thread. So let's get started. In the first step, what you want to do is you want to pick up 4 bicones. Take them down to the very end of your thread, and then just make a knot. In order to make this earring, you will definitely need to understand the concept of raw or right angle weave. I have a separate video to understand the technique using one needle. I have to yet make it into a 2 needle step later on maybe. So this is going to be this is where my knot is, okay? So this is where my knot is. So what you want to do is, you want to take your needle and go into the first bead right here. In order to make this, you need to understand completely the step and procedure. So just follow me along, okay? You're going to go into the first bead. And then pull tight. This is the first component. I mean the first part, okay? So it requires 4 beads. In order to make an adjoining 4 bead row, this is going to be the first bead that I want to count, and I want to pick up bead number 2, bead number 3, and bead number 4. And then you want to do is you want to go into the bead in a circle. If you have nailed raw using one needle technique, then this is going to be super easy for you. So I'm coming out of this bead, the middle bead. I need to come out of this bead in order to continue with my raw. So I'm going to come out of this bead and then this bead. I'm coming out of here. Just because I'm going to make it into a triangle instead of cubic, I'm going to stop here. If you see this thing here, this is my part 1, this is my part 2. I just need to do the part 3. If this would have been raw or cubic right angle weave, I would have added in one more little round and then I would have joined them. So I want to join this bead to this bead, this to this. So my thread is coming towards the downward side. What I want to do is I want to pick up one more bead, always the bicone, and I want to go in an upward motion into this bead right here. Just because my thread was coming down, I went up. And pull tight. You saw what happened? The bead that we added is right here and it joined the piece together. Now to close up this upside, the upper side, I want to take a bead and then go down the same first bead. And then this time you gotta pull. So I want to show you what happened here. What happened was we have a 3 triangle kind of thing. So this is the first side, this is the second side, and then this is the third side. So if you see from this way, you will see that it is actually a 3-sided raw bead. So this is bead side 1, side 2, and this is side 3. So we have 3 beads on top. At this point here, I want to take my scissors and trim off the tail thread. Okay, so now my thread is coming out of here, this one here. So I'm now want to work on the top of my bead where you have the 3 beads. Okay, I want to show you. This is very important. It's going to be a long video, but you have to bear with me. If you don't understand this step, it's not going to work. So if you hold your bead in this way, you will have 3 beads on top, and I'm just going to flip it, and 3 beads on the bottom. See, 3 beads here, and I'm going to flip my work, and 3 beads on the bottom. And you're going to have 4 beads on the sides. Part 1, part 2, and part 3. So you will have 4, 4, and 4 on the sides, and 3 on the top, and then 3 on the bottom. This is what you should have. So I'm coming out of here, over here. I'm going to take my needle and go into the top bead where there are only 3 beads on the top. Okay, so I'm going to go into one of those beads. I'm going to pick up a seed bead, go into the next bead. I'm only working on those 3 beads, not the sides, and pull tight. So what happened is you have a bead sitting in between the bicones. You're going to take a seed bead, go into the next bicone. Only those 3 beads, never ever go towards the side. See? Again, you want to pick up a bead, seed bead, and go into the next or the first bicone. See? This is what I was talking to you about. I just added in a bead in between those 3 beads. Now what I want to do is I want to go to that other direction and do the same thing. So to do that, I'm going to flip my work. I'm going to go into the nearest bicone that my thread is coming out of. And I'm now ready to go into one of the bicones of the other side where there are only 3 beads. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pick up a bead, go into the next bead, I'm going to pick up a bead, go into the next bead, I'm going to pick up a bead and go into the next last bead, that is the bicone. So what we did here was again added in 1 seed bead into each of my bicones. I did the same thing to this side and also the other side, that is here. So you have a bead on the top and on the bottom, and this divides the 4 beads to the 3 beads. Now you're going to have you're going to work in this way where you have the 4 beads set up. Now my thread is coming out of this bicone here, so I'm going to go into one of the seed beads that is nearest to where my thread is coming out of. So I want to hold my bead in this way, which means that where you have the 3 beads on the top and the bottom, it's going to be now sideways. So you're only going to work on top of the 4 beads set. So my thread is coming out of this seed bead right here. This time I want to work here in a diagonal motion. So I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, 1 bicone, and 2 seed beads. Then what I want to do is I want to go in a diagonal motion, which means that when I'm coming out of here, I'm going to go into here onto this bead and then pull. you have a bead on top of those sets of 4 beads. Now you want to just turn your work. I'm coming out of here, so I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, a crystal, and 2 seed beads. Now I want to do the same thing, so I'm going to go in a diagonal motion, which means I need to come out of this seed bead right here. See, I have a bead on top of those set of 4 beads. Then again I want to flip my work and do the same thing to the other side. 2 beads, crystal, 2 beads. And then I'm coming out of here, so I need to go into here. So if I see it sideways, what I see is these are my top 3 beads. On the 4 side walls, I have 1, 1 and 1 bicone, that is 3 bicones. So I'm again kind of coming out of this seed bead. I want to just embellish the top part again. So I want to pick up this time only 2 seed beads in this way, and I'm going to come out of the bicone that I just added, okay? The top bicone, that is the embellishment part. I'm going to come out of this bicone. I'm going to pick up 2 beads, and then I'm going to go into this seed bead. Okay, let me just hold my work in this way so that you understand much more. In this way. So on top of the 4 set beads, that was the 4 bead set, I embellished this one, this top bead. You can see from the side. Now again I have 1 more to work with. So I have the 4 beads down, that is the foundation base, and this is going to be the top bead. This is the top bead. So my thread is coming out of this seed bead. I want to pick up 2 more seed beads, and then I'm going to go into this top bicone and pull tight. I'm going to pick up 2 more seed beads, and I'm going to go into this side seed bead and pull tight. Then just turn my work and do the last part. So this is the top bicone right here. Pick up 2 beads, go into the bicone, pick up 2 beads, and then go into the first seed bead that we had added. And this completes my beaded bead. See? So this is the top 3 beads, and this is the lower 3 seed beads. I have 4 beads. I have 3 sides of 4 beads, and on top of that I embellished it with more bicones. So this is how it looks at the very end when you've done it. I hope this beaded bead is understandable. I mean, you understood how it's made. Now this can be worked in different ways. You can make it into a bracelet, or maybe use it as a pendant, whatever you'd wish, but I'm going to make it into earrings. So now to do the top part and the lower part. The top part is done exactly the same way as the lower part, or you can say the lower part is made exactly like the top part. So I'm coming out of a seed bead. You always have to come out of seed bead. I'm going to work on the top 3 beads. So this is the 3 bead set, and this is the 3 bead set. I want to work on the 3 beads set always. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2 bicones and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 beads, seed beads. Drop it down. Leave all the seed beads, just leave them. Go into only the first bicone and then pull. Adjust your beads. Now my thread is coming out of a bicone. I want to pick up one more bicone and go into this bead right here. If you remember, these are the three beads. I'm going to show you. This is the first bead, this is the second bead, and this one here is the third bead that we had added on when we were just filling up the gaps between the three bicones. So I picked up a bicone and I'm going to go into this bead directly. I'm here, I added in 2 bicones, 6 beads. I came into the first bicone, I picked up a bicone, and I'm going to go into this seed bead directly and pull. Now what happened is that I added in a 3 bead set on top. Now I'm coming out of the seed bead. I need to come out of the third seed bead right here. So initially I was coming out of the first seed bead. I added in this part, and then I added in a bicone and then went into the second seed bead. Now I want to come out of the third seed bead in order to be sure to add in the last bicone. Yeah, that way. So this time I'm going to pick up one more bicone and I'm going to go into only the top bicone. I picked up a bicone, went into the top bicone from and downward to upward motion. So what happened is I added in 3 beads on top of the 3 bead set. So I have this. Now my thread is coming out of the top bicone. I want to go into all of those seed beads. This is just for reinforcement. All of the seed beads. And then down the bicone. And then I'm going to go into any of the side bicones. Just come down, enter a seed bead, and come out of the other side where you have the 3 bicone set. I'm just going into several beads. And come out of any of the bicones of the other side. Now this is where I want to talk to you a little bit. So this is my half work. I am done with the half of my earring. So I want to talk to you about it. On this one here, I did only the half part. At the end, I did not add in more bicones. I just added in a drop. So instead, if you don't want to do this, if you want to add in a drop, just pick up 2 beads, add in a drop. You're going to do the same thing, okay? Just like I will show you right now with the bicones. Instead of adding in bicones, you just want to add in seed beads, okay? To avoid extra cost on your earrings, you're just going to forget the bicones. You're just going to use seed beads. But the process is exactly the same, okay? So I'm coming out of a bicone, but I don't want to come out of a bicone. I want to come out of a seed bead. So I'm going to go into the nearest seed bead that I have there, in this one here. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I want to pick up a crystal, 2 crystals, and then this time I want to pick up 8 seed beads, because this is where I'm going to put my ear wires. My ear wires have really small holes, so I need to make a bigger loop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one being number 8. I'm going to drop those down to the very end, leave all the beads and come down with the bicone, into the bicone. If you did not understand the first step, I'm going to show you right now what you want to do here. I'm coming out of a seed bead over here. I added in 2 bicones, then 8 seed beads. I left the seed beads, I came into the bicone. And then when I'm coming out of a top bicone, I'm going to pick up 1 more bicone, and leaving everything, I'm going to go into, so this is my first bead, this is my second bead, and this is my third bead. I want to go into the second bead. So if you remember, these were the 3 beads that we had added in the beginning when we were making the bead, and we're just filling up the gaps between those 3 bicone sets. And pull tight. Now I'm done with the 2 seed beads. I need to go into the third seed bead, so I'm going to go into a bicone, the side bicone, and then I'm going to come out of a seed bead. This is going to be hard. No, it isn't. So I'm coming out of a seed bead and to pick up my very last bicone bead, and then I'm going to go into the top bicone. So I just completed the 2 sides. The difference is, on this side I added in 8 seed beads, and on this one here I added in 6 seed beads. Now I'm going to go into all of these beads again, just to reinforce my work and to come down, of course, to tie my knot. Come down those beads into a bicone and into the next or the last bicone, and there you want to tie your knots. This is simple, you can do it anytime. Pull tight, go into several seed beads. No, it doesn't want to go there. Okay, I'm going to go in another direction. Just go into several seed beads wherever you want to. Just go anywhere you want to. Make sure that your bead allows you to. Okay, at this point I'm going to trim my thread, and you have your component ready and done. See? So I'm going to take this one and my ear wire. I'm going to take my dangler. I'm going to open that up, go into the loop of beads, go there, close it up, take your ear wire, open that up, go into the loop. See, I told you how small the loop is. So you want to, oh no, you don't want to break a bead. That would be a really problematic situation. So I now have my earrings ready and done. So it's going to take you like 20 to 25 minutes. Just because I was making this video, it changed up a little bit, but somehow I just got it done. So these are the earrings that I want to share with you. Now if you want to buy kits of these earrings, I'm going to sell it at 200 rupees per kit. These are the 3 color combinations that I'm going to be having as kits: a blue, a green maroon, and a pink, a rose pink. So that's all there is to it. I hope you have fun watching the video. I hope you learned something. Leave a comment. I'll add all the list of materials in the description box, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.